Good morning, Dr. My name is Chen Yanting. My master number is 213744. Today, I will present my research title, The Relationship Between ESG Performance and Financial Performance in Chinese Innovation Driven Firms. I'm the supervisor of Dr. Luo Huda. First, let me explain ESG, which stands for Environmental, Social, and Governance, reflect a company's practice in sustainability, social responsibility, and governance structures. As research by Chen and Share 2021 and Graver and Survey 28 shows ESG is increasingly recognized as a key driver of corporate sustainability and long-term view. A meta-analysis of over 1,000 studies found that 58% shows a positive link between ESG and financial performance, including measures like ROA and stock returns via April 2021. While these findings are well documented globally, it's especially important to examine how ESG is evolving in emerging markets like China, with both the policy support and corporate transformation are happening at high speed. In China, ESG adoption is accelerating, driven by a combination of policies and market forces. The number of listed companies disclosing ESG report has grown from 1,153 in 2020 to 2,455 in 2024. However, ESG disclosure rate varies significantly across the industries, where financing have a disclosure rate above 90%. Tech, healthcare, and advanced manufacturing sectors fell below 15%. This imbalance indicates a need to investigate why innovation-driven firms, despite national sustainability goals, are larger in ESG engagement. CSRC 2024, they need to consider the specific characteristics of these firms in more depth. Innovation-driven firms such as those in IT, biotech, and new energy play a central role in China's high-quality growth strategy. These firms are typically fast-growing and research and development intensive, which often cause the ESG to be deprioritized due to capital constraints and short-term financial goals. However, despite their strategic importance, most ESG financial performance research has focused on major or traditional sectors, as noted by Kong et al. 2023 and Collide and Bowser 2025. This leaves high innovation firms underexplored. As a result, both the practical and theoretical gaps emerging that need to be addressed. The practical gap lies in the fact that ESG disclosure is highly uneven across industries, and innovation-driven firms are falling behind. Although ESG disclosure has grown significantly in China, with over 2,400 listed companies publish ESG report by 2024, sectors such as IT, healthcare, and advanced manufacturing still report a rate below 15%, far lower than the 19% in the finance and utilities. These innovation-heavy sectors are also the same ones driving China economic transformation. Is the lack of ESG participation due to capital pressure, short-term goals, and insufficient regulatory focus. This imbalance shows the current ESG practice are well aligned with the list or realities of innovation-driven enterprises, but it's important to conduct more targeted sector-specific research. Beyond the practical issues, there is also a clear theoretical gap. Most existing ESG financing performance studies focus on major industries with stable structures and regulatory oversight. Chen et al. 2023, Zhao et al. 2018. However, innovation-driven firms operate differently. They rely heavily on tangible assets, adopt rapidly to market shift, and display unique strategic agility. Current theoretical models really consider how ESG implementation interact with innovation capability, especially in how it may affect financing performance outcomes. Kong et al. 2023, Cardinal and Basel 2025. The research aims to bridge both the practical and theoretical gaps by focus specifically on innovation-driven firms in the Chinese context. Let me briefly summarize the 10 articles that form the foundation for my study. First, the replication article by Chen Song and Gao 2023 uses stakeholder theory and seller transmission theory to examine how ESG performance affects corporate financial outcomes. The study analyzed the data from 3,332 global firms across 2011 to 2020, totally 24,076 observations. The dependent variables is corporate financial performance measured as ROA. The independent variable is ESG performance based on Thomson Reuters ESG and Canada scores. Control variable including price to book rate, revenue growth, and operating cash flow to assets. The first extension article by Adomosh et al. 2022 also applies the stakeholder theory. It used a panel of 1,720 famous over 2013 to 2021. With the 15,053 film-year observations, independent variables including ESG Campbell scoring and E3 sub-scores from relative dependent variables are family view, top skill, and profitability ROA. Control variables including film size and leverage. The second article uses a sample of 2,256 Chinese listed famous from 2015 to 2021. It based on stakeholder theory and examines the impact of ESG on ROA and the moderator rule of digital transformation. Independent variable is ESG performance using Huazhen's routine. Dependent variable is financial performance ROA. Control variable including firm size and debit level. The third extension article by Cohn, Akbar, and Paulo 2023 studies 64 global tech leaders from 2010 to 2017. It applies stakeholders theory to examine how one period larger ESG performance affected earning per share and the price to earning route. Independent variables are ESG Campbell scoring, environmental scoring, social scoring, and government scoring. Control variables are size and net profit measure. To get this study, there are two core research questions. First, that ESG performance has an impact on the financial performance of innovation driver firms in China. Secondly, which ESG dimension, environmentally, social, or governance, has the greatest impact on financial performance? Corresponding to this question, the objectives of the study are to examine the impact of overall ESG performance on financial performance in innovation driver Chinese firms, and to identify the most influential ESG pillar, whether it is environmental sustainability, social responsibility, or governance quality.